Hi, welcome to Going Insane with Temperance Domain. This is my second video that I wanted to drop it real fast. So I thought we'd go into how our environment, what's around us, what kind of shape it's in, affects our environment, and how we're perceiving ourselves and others, and therefore interjecting that into the world. It's very important thing to grab a hold of, because we are adding to whatever's going on in the global situation. So if we start taking personal responsibility for ourselves, then we're also affecting the global situation. And personal responsibility is key and the foremost thing that we should be concentrating on, rather than pointing fingers at everybody else. Okay, so in my experience with me, and my observations of everybody around me, or the global situation as we're talking, then is that if I clean up the toxicity, the clutter, the overwhelming situations, the lack of rest, the lack of peace, the lack of anything, the lack of understanding that I'm creating lack by thinking about lack. If I eliminate all that as much as possible and as effectively as possible, then I'm affecting my environment to then be a better global citizen, which is where we're at. I mean, if we just get down to the nuts and bolts, that's where we're at. We need to be global citizens and be aware of what that means. So, like I mentioned, decluttering your environment helps with the mental exhaustion and procrastination of dealing with even the larger tasks or the tiniest of tasks that come up through the day, because we're weighed down with so much clutter from our things just not being put away where they're supposed to be so you can find them easily, or stacks of bills that need to be sorted through, thrown away, shredded, or dealt with, or filed onto a computer. These are all little projects that stack up to become monsters in our minds and in our lives and in our environments. Okay. So if we put our efforts and intentions to tackling that, make lists, that helps. Kind of tackle the list as much as you can. Make a larger goal list, and then take one of those things each day. Start a list for that day of one subject and 3 things about it that you can do for that day, or however many you can achieve, or just the whole task in general, whatever works for you. So I find that has greatly eased my environment, state of mind. Giving things away to charity, great things to do. Putting them in the trash. I mean, yes, we've got so much trash in this country and in the world, but in the end, if we don't get it out of our environment is not going to change, and then the globe won't change anyway. So let's work on throwing things away that we don't need to be tackling mentally instead of actually on a daily basis, and that helps a lot. Okay, so that'll wrap that up. Let's leave that there